Hello everybody. Okay, so this is an updated read to a read that I did on Summer Wells a few days ago. Everybody has been patiently waiting for the updated read. We're going to use a few other decks this time. My Ancestor deck I use for the initial read because it's a cold read, which means I don't know much about the case. I knew very little at the time. A lot more information has come out, so there should be a lot more information now coming out in the cards. And I'll understand better what my ancestors are trying to show me with the cards that do come out. Okay, so I'm going to ask if you haven't subscribed. The subscribe button's right down there in the corner. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so you're made aware when I do updated reads and when I go live. Please hit that like button. Show your support for the channel by doing so. And please share this out where you can. Okay, so we're going to get into this and see what else we can find out. So we're going to do a past, present, future with many different decks. And that's going to be the past. We're going to ask about the day of Summer's disappearance, what was going on, what more information they can tell us, and then what is coming, what's not known yet, maybe what's being hidden. So let's hope we can get some more. So this is leading up to, this is the day of, and this is what's coming, which is either being kept secret right now. That could be by law enforcement or by whoever's done this to Summer, and what is coming up, okay? So the days leading up to, so this is any time before Summer went missing, leading up to her going missing, because this is going to be the day of. I've got the you are unlike anyone else. This stands for contradictions and complications. So there was a lot of things being said and done, and this is leading up to, that are contradictory and very complex. So this is telling me that she's not going to be easily found. Okay, I think they thought about this well in advance and picked maybe the perfect spot. But I see a lot of contradictions happening, a lot of things that were complex. So that's not just with trying to figure out what they're going to do, but also where they're going to hide her. Okay, so this is the day of. The first one we got is Bats in the Belfry. So this generally talks about achieving, things being achieved. I got the unending sadness of looking back. This talks about obsession, grief, endless regret, replaying the past and negative things. So there was a lot of negativity surrounding the time that this happened to her. I'm feeling more along the lines of there was a lot of deception going on. A lot of things, and I do believe that we have heard, now this is all alleged, about this drinking going on, about Candace giving another child that was with them swimming some alcohol. I feel almost like she was somewhat obsessed with this kid, whoever that friend was that went swimming. I feel like there was some obsessions there. I feel like it brought up things, and I'm speaking about with Candace herself. I feel like she was almost trying to relive her childhood. with this kid, it's odd. It's very odd. I feel like she had some kind of obsession with that kid. Okay? There was a lot of negativity around, so I feel like the mother was kind of upset that this other child that was there was showing so much attention to Summer. So I haven't seen the video yet. This morning I opened an email and there was some photos of this child playing in the water with Summer and stuff like that. I feel like she was jealous of that. Now, I don't think this child had anything to do with Summer going missing. I think he was just another kid being a kid. I think the introduction of the alcohol, if that was done, especially a 15-year-old boy is not going to say no to alcohol. But she had other intentions with that. The mother had other intentions. And I think she was very jealous of the attention that this boy was giving Summer. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. With him just being in the water playing and swimming and doing what kids do. I don't think she liked it. She felt that Summer was taking away from her. I think she was obsessed with that boy for some reason. I see some obsession going on there, and I see some regret also, almost like she regrets having those two together because it took away from what she was intending. So I don't know what's going on there, but I have some very bad vibes about that. Now, I am not blaming this 15-year-old boy that was there at all. This is all on Candace and her obsession with that kid. There's some kind of obsession she had with that kid. She also had some regret with bringing Summer along because it kind of hindered what she had planned, I think. Bats in the belfry. It's almost like Summer put a halt to things with Summer being there, put a halt to what she was trying to achieve with this 15-year-old boy. So that's kind of worrisome to me, but I mean, I've got to read what I'm getting, and that's what I'm getting. She had an obsession with that boy. And this was her way of getting him to go there with them, was to bring Summer. Summer was an excuse. Like, you know, I'm not going to be in the water. She'll give Summer someone to play with in the water, whatever. But she had other intentions, the mother. Okay? And that's why I think the alcohol was introduced. The Dragonfly Mermaid. This is what's to come. What's not known yet. So there's going to be a lot of information that's going to come out in this pile. Maybe things that we don't know yet. The Dragonfly Mermaid tells me about attractions. So I do believe that she was attracted to this 15-year-old boy. I think she had other intentions and kind of lured him into that situation of coming swimming. This is why I think the other kids were not brought. It's just very odd for a woman of that age to have an obsession with a boy of this age. So a little bit of planning went into this, and it comes out here too that there was some planning going on with that. Contradictions, and I think the contradictions was the reasons why she told this boy that she wanted to, you know, hey, come swimming with us, come swimming, because that was her way of getting him alone. And Summer being so young, she wouldn't notice what was going on as much as the older kids would have. Okay, so leading up to the day of, please. Why is the bats in the belfry? There, the day Summer missing. And Dragon Timer, maybe why is that there with what is to come, what's being hidden, any other information that you can give us? Okay, so leading up to, so you're unlike anyone else. I feel she had an obsession with this kid, this boy. There's been a lot of contradictions and a lot of complexities surrounding this. And I think that even though I'm not saying that she's a rocket scientist, but she did certain things to make this happen. And it was done in advance. So did she use come over and help us clean the house or whatever this was to get him there with other intentions? Little Red Riding Hood, I'm not a victim. So she is, Candace is not a victim here. Okay, I think this was all set up. I think this was planned. So I've already told you with the unending sadness of looking back, the obsessiveness and replaying the past tells me about almost trying to relive her childhood. And I think she was obsessed with this boy. And I believe that as much as she needed to bring Summer there to get that kid to go with them and then introduce the alcohol, I feel like him watching over Summer swimming so nothing bad happens, stuff like that, and just wanting to be out in the water, you know, splashing around, whatever. And like I said, please don't get me wrong, I don't think this boy had any intentions or bad ill will at all. Okay, I don't think he's involved at all, but I think there may be things there that he's not remembering because of the introduction of the alcohol that is I think make him come out, and it's all going to fit. But I think the obsession that Candace had and used her daughter in that was with this boy. Little brother, little sister. See this? Talks about siblings, younger friends, and the responsibility. Okay, so this just reaffirms to me that she had the mindset of how she was going to get this kid alone. She was going to use Summer to do it. And the responsibility that she had was to make sure that this kid was safe, as well as her own daughter. And the introduction of the alcohol was, I believe, something that she was using because of this obsession with this boy. Okay, and Summer was a tool to get him away from everybody else type thing. And this also talks about the other siblings. Okay, kind of being left behind, that they may have caught on to what Candace was trying to do and might have seen signs of something that wasn't right. Whereas Summer, being younger, she wasn't going to see it as much. Okay, so the attraction. Code of Cosco and the Priestess of Time. Time has come, the time to act is now. So I do believe that something happened at that swimming hole. I don't believe that this, like I said, I don't believe this 15-year-old is to blame for any of it. But I do believe that something happened at that swimming hole. I'm not so sure about the secondary drowning thing. I did hear about that also, but that's not what I'm seeing. I'm seeing she's a snake. I think that things didn't pan out the way that she had wanted them to. And I believe it centers around this 15-year-old boy. I think Candace had some kind of obsession with him. And I think that she was very jealous of her own daughter. The green-eyed snake tells me about immense jealousy and about having to act. I feel Candace felt that Summer, I do believe that the mother did this. And I believe, you see the green-eyed monster. I don't know if you guys know that saying about the green-eyed jealous monster, the jealousy in people that come out. They're so jealous of other things when something they want is being almost like taken away from them, like a green-eyed monster of jealousy comes out. I think Candace was very jealous of Summer. And I think this was the last straw, this swimming day. I believe that she introduced the alcohol because of her obsession with this 15-year-old boy. I think maybe she wasn't getting the attention and whatnot that she wanted from her husband. And I feel that she thought Summer was taking from her. She was very jealous of Summer. And then I believe this was the last straw, the obsession that she had with this 15-year-old. Now, I don't know how well. I've heard a little bit about this 15-year-old. I don't know how this 15-year-old is known to Candace or the family. I haven't got that information. But I feel like she was obsessed with this 15-year-old for some reason, for this boy. Whoever this boy is, Candace was obsessed with him. And she felt like Summer was taking her... how can I say it? Was taking her joy away, because it seemed this boy was more interested with playing with Summer in the water, and I'm not saying anything bad like that, like a normal child playing with another one in the water. I feel she felt like her thunder was being taken. It's like, oh, I brought the alcohol. I got him here. Like, she has an obsession with this kid, and I think it's not good. And I think she punished Summer for taking away her thunder and taking away her opportunity to get what she wanted from this boy. I really do believe that that's what happened. And I think this obsession, once I believe the boy was dropped off, and then Candace was taking Summer home. And I believe that the jealousy and the anger of things not going the way she wanted them to go at the swimming hole got the better of her, and I believe she did something to Summer. Okay, so let's go in for some more clarification. The days leading up to this happening with Summer. So ancestors for the days leading up with the Red Riding Hood. And this is telling me Candace is not a victim. So it tells me Candace is involved. So leading up to, what was going on? Why did she want this? Why did she, what was going on? Water and salt, see, truth. So things weren't going in her life, in Candace's life, things were not. This is all about, I believe that this is all turning towards Candace, because I'm getting a lot. Water and salt, truth. I don't believe she was happy in her relationship with her husband, and she wanted something more, and she felt, again, the water and the salt tell me about her being salty about and jealous of her own daughter. And she was, I think it was over time. I think this had been going on for a long time, where she was feeling jealous of her own daughter. And her daughter was Summer was such a free, loving spirit. And I think Candace was very jealous of the attention that Summer got from multiple different people. And she was getting fed up. And I think this obsession that she had with this boy was the last straw. Again, Summer in the water, getting all this boy's attention, blah, blah, blah. Pissed her off big time, the green-eyed monster, okay? So the day of, I got the princess who never smiled, healing. Okay, we've seen a lot about, pictures of Summer, okay? And I think that Summer had a lot of things that were done to her that should never be done to a child, Okay, I think that she was abused by not only the mother, but others in the family. And I also believe with this, it speaks some about Candace. It's also telling me that Candace has not healed from things that were done also to her. And I feel she took it out on Summer. Very jealous of Summer. Very, very jealous of Summer. And I've got it here with this green-eyed monster. Okay, so what can you tell us now? What's going on? What's being hidden? What's to come? Taboos. Okay, so the Bluebeard tells me about taboos. So this doesn't only tell me, so this is things that are being hidden, you guys. This last pile is going to be what's not known yet, what's being hidden, what's going to be coming, okay? As we progress with the clarification cards, it's going to come out as to maybe future, I hope. But this is telling me that there was things that were done that were taboo, which solidifies for me about this 15-year-old boy and about what was done to Summer, about the jealousy, about Summer being abused by multiple people, not just Candace, multiple people in the family. I feel this is telling me about taboos, sexual assaults, thoughts of this 15-year-old child that she was having, taboo, things that were taboo. What she did to Summer, taboo. Okay, so things were done that shouldn't have been done. So I do believe that the mother is responsible at this point, and this is in my opinion from what I'm getting from my ancestors and from my cards. Okay, leading up to any more information you can give us that made Candace so angry that she thought of a plan. I think she was thinking of a plan. So why is the water and salt there? What more can you tell us about the water and the salt? Expectations. Okay, this is Thumbelina. This talks about expectations. So her expectations weren't being fulfilled. Okay, so things that she wanted, she needed, were not being filled. So it's almost like she was saying, you can't keep on going on treating me this way without repercussions type thing. Okay, so it's almost like in her mind, it's like what happened to Summer should have been expected. So this also tells me that there could have been people that seen this coming. Okay, the days leading up to. I think there was warning signs there of something that was going to happen or something that was off kilter that should have made people aware that something bad was about to happen. I think there was warning signs. The day of, oops, here we go. The day of the 12 dancing princesses. Okay. Again, this is telling me that in videos we've seen Summer doing the little dancing. The father in his statements has mentioned this dancing. Okay, the dancing, the twirling, the loving of life. You know what I mean? This card coming out kind of hits me because the father brings up her dancing and her twirling. She loved to do it. I think that the day of, she was getting too much attention from people that Candace wanted the attention from. So she'd had enough of it. And this also talks about the attention that Summer was getting from this boy that went swimming. Candace was very jealous, I believe, of that. Again, Candace, Summer's taking the thunder away from Candace with this 15-year-old boy. The 15-year-old boy was doing nothing wrong. He was just there, like, having fun, enjoying the water, playing, splish-splashing in the water with Summer. He did nothing wrong. This is all on, I believe, the mother, in my opinion. What I'm seeing, you guys, is... Okay, so we've got the Bluebeard, which talks about the taboos. Fair, brown, and trembling. I think the more and more they splish-splashed around in the water and stuff like that. Fair, brown, and trembling. I feel it doesn't necessarily have to mean fair skin, the brown hair. I think this is a series of how things were happening. Things were going all right. She was giving him the alcohol. Things started going south. He was spending his time in the water playing with Summer instead of where she wanted him to be with her. And this got her angry. Taboo, 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 taboo. She wasn't getting what she wanted from this situation. How she thought things were going to go did not go the way that she wanted them to go. The green-eyed monster come out. The trembling, the green-eyed monster come out. Again, she blamed Summer for taking away from her. Very jealous of Summer. Very, very jealous. Okay. So I do believe that this day was the breaking point. Okay, so we're going to go into a series now of cards that we are going to pull to try and let us know what the heck was going on. And we're just going to do it in a series this way to give us almost like in a timeline of how this happened. From the day before to the day of to just after, and then what's to come. Okay, let's shuffle these one more time before we start because we just pull from the top. High standards, being realistic. So I believe that leading up to, we're going to have a few cards of leading up to the days before, then the day of, and then the days after. This is going to go in a series, okay, from start to finish. Nobility talks about honoring somebody, high standards, and being idealistic. Okay, so you see here, this is Summer. She's got her dad, and the mother, this is what I feel like. She was daddy's girl, and the mother was always watching, like, primal, connecting deep within, sacred dance, sacred dancing again. So this tells me about, you know, Summer just trying to make the best of her life with what she had. But I see the four faces of death here, which it's almost like there was so much jealousy around Summer. Transgression, things started transgressing. So things started, irritating, and I believe this is both the mother and the grandmother. Here's Summer. I believe this is the mother and grandmother on each side. And I almost feel like Candace went to her mother and told her mother about things that were irritating her, not happy with, things like that. I see there's a lot of contradictions. We had it up here too. A lot of contradictions happening. So I've also seen that mistakes were starting to be made. So I don't know if there was other things that were also being done leading up to what happened to Summer that day. But there was a lot of mistakes being done, and she's also talking about things having to change because there was flaws in situations or people. Death rites, saying goodbye, formal occasion, honoring lives. So this is telling me that I think she's had many times, she's had thoughts about just wanting to strangle her. You know what I mean? That's what I'm getting. You see, it's like the mother holding a child in her arms. So I do believe that the mother is responsible. And I believe that this has been coming for some time. It was a matter of time before this happened. And I see that people would have seen things to give red flags as to how bad this was getting. Burnt by the sun. See, I got burnt too in my ancestor read that I did on her. I believe that they could have tried to burn her, or she was burnt. So it doesn't mean that she was thrown into a fire pit and they tried to burn all the evidence, but I feel that she was burnt somehow, some kind of burn. I'm also getting an extension of reach. So I feel like she's going to be somewhere where you're going to have to extensively look. So it may be, you may walk by this area and not see the area where she is. I've got the nightmare. Okay, so yes, this did turn into a nightmare. This also talks about there's a shield. But I do, and you see the fire in the eyes of the unicorn. There was a lot of there is a lot of protecting going on. Somebody is overly protecting somebody else, almost shielding them. The bad dreams almost talk about protection from the bad things that someone has done. Prey, stalked, invaded, and watched. So I believe that Summer is somewhere nearby. I believe that they can still kind of keep an eye on the situation. It tells me the prey is still being stalked and watched. So I do believe that she is nearby. She's not far. Call for help. Need for backup. Again, this is, I think, I believe this is the father protecting the mother. He stepped in and is helping back up what the mother is saying. Religion. See this? The religion. He's using the religion. He's using commandments and he's using religion and the rules of the religion to try and... I believe there's hints that are coming out in that. He's using a lot of religion. He's using a lot of quotes from the Bible, but he's not using them properly in the form that they were intended. He's switching them around to suit him, but when he does that, he's giving us hints as to what happened and where Summer could be. And I do believe that she had been burnt. Natural. Natural talks about authentic, real, and organic. So I've heard some talk about some kind of drug. And I believe that this would naturally be in the home, and I think I got the drug card too. But I think this is some kind of prescription drug that is involved. See, transmission again. I got the transition here and I got the transition here. Spreading of the conditions, the influence, and the impact. So I feel like he is involving himself in this and creating his own narrative as to what happened to try and throw off the searchers. The reason. It's all about covering up. It's all about covering up. He wants people to listen to him, and he's trying to think of what to say before he says it, but then it doesn't come out. Because when you're trying to tell a lie, especially when you're put on the spot and you don't know what questions are coming at you, he can't think clearly. So he's trying to give a narrative And I see two skulls there. So I think there may be some covering up before. And I believe this could be maybe the sister. So Candace could be, this could be Candace. And the covering up of both of these going missing, the sister and Summer. See, it's all over jealousy. Jealousy, she was very jealous. So she could have also been very jealous of her sister. And I do believe that she was jealous of Summer. The jealousy stands for envy, punishment, and changing course. So she changed the course of how things were going. Everything to her led back to, her jealousy and envy was over, I believe, the sister and Summer. So she had to change the course of that. So I think she had her hand in both. And you see the two skulls again facing here. I think she might have had her hand in both. And I think she was very jealous. Love conquers all. Eternal love and lasting commitment. So I feel like for her to get the love that she was seeking, that she felt maybe the sister and Candace was taking from her, to get rid of them, then she would get the love that she deserved. She'd be the, you know, the female, the only female of the family again. I know that I don't know if it's his mother or her mother that lives on the property, but I feel like she would be the only female left in the family, so she would get the attention that she deserved. I feel so much jealousy here. So this is only my opinion, but I think that there was a lot of jealousy with her and her sister. And I think Candace's sister, the one that died or went missing years ago, I think this all stems from jealousy, and jealousy from Candace herself. Immortal. The consuming family. Consuming of the family. So I do believe that this is what it's over. I believe it was a jealousy that Candace had towards not only her own daughter, but I believe her sister also. So I do believe that, you see here again, I do believe that the mother had, and possibly even the grandmother. It's almost like, okay, makes more sense. I almost am feeling like the grandmother jealous of Candace's sister. Candace's sister disappears. So jealous of the daughter. And then we got Candace and her daughter, the jealousy of the daughter. I think this has happened before. And I think it was all over jealousy. I do believe the grandmother does know, and this is my opinion only. I believe that I think all three know. I think the father knows exactly what happened and is covering it up so that they don't lose the rest of the kids. I think the mother and the grandmother both know exactly what happened that day. And I'm seeing a repeat of the past. And I've got consuming family. I believe way back, when the sister of Candace went missing, I believe it was over jealousy. The mother's jealousy of the daughter, and it's repeating itself again here. Now, I don't know if Candace was involved in the disappearance of her sister, but I can tell you that there's one person that was around for both, and that's the grandmother. But I'm almost seeing like a history repeat itself. So I'm seeing, and it's smacking me right in my face right now. I'm getting it. I'm getting more from my ancestor as we go, and I'm trying to piece that together. Okay. I'm seeing the past repeating itself. So I'm seeing a mother jealous of a daughter, the daughter disappearing. And now I'm seeing it again with Candace and her daughter. Jealousy of her daughter and the daughter disappearing. So I do believe that this is all connected, and I believe it's history repeating itself. I do believe that Summer is not far. I don't believe she's been taken across state lines. I believe she's been taken a distance from the house, but I don't think it's very far because I seen that they were still watching. So I don't know if it's when they go out or if they just walk around the property, but I believe you're going to find them within a quarter mile of their home. And I'm seeing they've been so close. I'm seeing right now, my ancestors are showing me the time that I went looking for my cousin's grave. I'm from Hamilton, Ontario, which is a huge city. The graveyards there are humongous, humongous. And I went searching for his grave, and they told me the area he was in, but I kept passing by it. And it's because bushes had grown up. I had a picture of it, but bushes had grown up, so I couldn't see it. And I kept walking past it, and I couldn't find it. And I was upset and crying because me and my cousin were very close. That's what my ancestors are showing me. So what that tells me is they have been very close, but they missed it because there's something blocking, like she's there. They've gone by where she is. So they are in the right area, wherever this is that they are searching. And I'm going to say that it's within a short distance of the house. It's not far from the house at all. But I feel like they have gone past her several times. It's going to be within a quarter mile of the house. It's going to be close to the house. And she's down a bit. So it's almost like you're walking and then there's a little piece that goes down and then up. She's going to be down there. She's there. And there's brush or... I don't find she's in water. I feel like it's very shallow. It's if there almost like just things have been thrown on top of her and made to look like it was naturally growing. She's there. She's there. And it's not far from the house. And they've passed by her. They've passed by her. I'm going to pull a card. I'm being drawn to pull a card from my Starseed. Okay, you see the swimming hole? You see the guy in the water, and this other thing here is empty, and there's the mother. This is telling me she wanted her gone. She has an interest in the male. She wanted her gone. She was envisioning this guy without Summer present. It's on the way home from this. It's on the way home from this that she got rid of Summer. This is where she set the plane in motion. That was, remember I said up here, that was the last straw? She was giving this kid alcohol for a reason. She had other intentions with this 15-year-old. So, yeah, she wasn't gonna come home from this swimming hole. I don't believe she did. Yeah. Okay, so she's in between. She's in between the swimming hole and home. She's in between the swimming hole and home, and I don't find that she's very far from home. Can you give me ground covering area? Can you give me something that looks like the area where she could be? Ground covering area, please. What would the area look like? What would the ground covering look like? So there could be some water nearby or a damp area, a wet area. Earth. Okay, so it's going to be a wet area. So maybe where beneath trees where when it rains, it stays wet for a while. I see that it is still wet. She's not in water though. She's not in water. She's in the earth. So this tells me that, and she's almost visible. Like there's very little on top of her. So I'm feeling like there's just brush, like I said earlier, but it could be a damp area or near a damp area. So like maybe near a little creek or something like that, but that's where she is, and it's going to be very close to her home. So if there's any little creek, and I'm not saying a deep creek, I'm just seeing where it stays wet, and she's on ground, but kind of covered up. It's not deep. If they tried to dig something to put her there, it's not deep. And there's just stuff put on top of her to make it look like natural grown. That's where she is. And she's close to home. She's close to home in between. So why this is important is, so say the swimming hole is over here and her home is here. Go halfway. It's going to be in between this way. So if the home is here, say this is the east, the swimming hole's to the east, it's going to be east of the home. If the swimming hole is west of the home, it's going to be west of the home. Between there and halfway to the swimming hole. So wherever she dropped off this kid, I would look between there and home. That's what I would look for. But she is within a 1/4 mile of home. And it's going to be a damp area. She's not in water, but it's going to be a damp area. So I'm seeing like marshy, like wet, something that would take a while to dry up after a heavy rain or something like that. Or a very tiny little creek where you can't even go fishing. There's no frog. Well, there could be frogs, but there's no little fish or nothing in there. It's not like that. It's just wet. And it's within a 1/4 mile of her home. And they have passed by her. They've passed by her without seeing her, without seeing where she is. Okay, so that's my read. I hope that this brings out some more information, but this was all done over jealousy, and I think Candace had some nefarious things in her mind regarding this 15-year-old that didn't go to her plan, and that was the last straw for her. That's what I am getting from my read. This is in my opinion only, entertainment purposes only, but this is what I'm getting from my ancestors and from my cards, and I'm also seeing that this is a repeat of the past. So I do believe that some people well known were involved with the sister going missing also. Okay, so that's my read. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time to watch this. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Please give this video a like and share this out where you can. Thank you for watching, and please take care of yourself and please stay safe. Bye-bye for now.